He'll be sharing his presentation with us, with all of us today. Please welcome Louis Nakao.
Good morning, everyone. So like my dad said, I was part of a panelist discussion with two other individuals titled, the workshop titled Beyond the Traditional Methods of Promoting the Teachings. And I just want to share what I presented at the workshop. This is what I presented. I introduced myself as a 5th generation follower and a software engineer of over 10 years. And I've been a social media manager for Tenrikyo from 2006 when I created a Facebook group called Tenrikyo Aficionado. And I was also introduced myself as a website manager because I maintained the Pro Church, Tenrikyo Resource, and other church websites, including Tenrikyo, which I'll talk about more later. So in order to understand who I am and what I do, I want to talk about the problems that I'm trying to solve for the Tenrikyo faith in the English-speaking community. So back in the 2000s, the second search result on Google was an article written by people who obviously were not familiar with the faith. And I don't remember the contents very clearly, but I remember how they said they couldn't take the religion seriously until it was over 200 years old. I felt it was unfair how Tenrikyo was being talked about in a negative light without any content to counter its claims. So back in 2000s, it was just the official Tenrikyo website, which barely had any information, and that was basically it. And that second search result. So I felt when people search for Tenrikyo, that's what they found, and that was very disappointing. My first attempt at trying to solve this problem was Wikipedia, and I did contribute to it, but I came across some roadblocks, and that was the policy for Wikipedia to only allow unbiased sources of information. So I could not use things like the Ovidasaki or the doctrine or the life of Moisano, because those are all biased works. So written and published by the Tenrikyo Church headquarters. Whereas something written by an anthropologist who went to Ojiba and studied, went to Ojiba and kind of observed Tenrikyo and then wrote a book about it, that's where the information was being used for the Tenrikyo Wikipedia page. I thought that was also a problem, or a roadblock that I came across. So just to show what I contributed, I put a photo of us, my dad, Moses and Lucas, to kind of just show what it's like, what Tenrikyo is about. And also that's Lucas and Terry, if you remember, doing Osazuke. This is back in 2006 or so, to kind of demonstrate the Osazuke part. So as a response to those problems, I wanted to add more information about Tenrikyo by creating the Tenrikyo Resource Wiki, and also a few apps, mainly the Ofudesaki browser and the Anecdotes browser. And I also decided to have a strong social media presence, as you might have been on. If you're on social media, hopefully you are following what I've been posting on the Tenrikyo Pro Church websites, the Pro Church page, as well as the Tenrikyo Resource page. So, and I also recently created Instagram accounts for those respective pages as well. So I just want to recognize Roy Forbes, because he was the one who wrote the vast majority of the Tenrikyo Resource, and he created hundreds and over 1,000 pages on the Tenrikyo Resource Wiki, including pages for the individual verses of the Fudesaki, as well as pages for the anecdotes and the life of Oyasu. And this is all very time-consuming work, and someone like Roy with a master's degree in religion and ability to translate Tenrikyo text to English, with that unique set of skills, all done for free, is a very something I respect a lot. He passed away in 2019, unfortunately. So I kept his website, the Tenrikology, which is a page he was updating, which included his kind of interpretations of the teachings. I think one of his, he contributed a lot of pages to that as well. But I think the most interesting, at least for you folks, would be like the blogging, the anecdotes of Oyasu, which he did a vast amount of research on each and every story and translated someone else's kind of version of like blogging the anecdotes of Oyasu. And so he did that for all 200 stories from the anecdotes of Oyasu. So just to kind of show you how much, there's over 1,800 pages on the Tenrikyo Resource, and even this is data I picked up from Google Analytics. It shows you still a lot of people visit the Tenrikyo Resource wiki, and just wanted to show you the breakdown of where the users are coming from. Of course, the vast majority is from the US, but also Brazil, Japan, Canada, China, etc. So I just want to show all the social media accounts that I've been maintaining. It includes the Tenrikyo Resource, Tenrikyo Hawaii, Tenrikyo Bazaar, Pro Church, and the Tenrikyo Resource Facebook group, which has by far the most followers, over 1,200 followers. And there's less followers on my Instagram accounts because I created them recently. And the reason why I have so many accounts is because each account kind of captures a more specific audience. For example, the bazaar, it's not just Tenrikyo followers, but there's a lot of people who attend the bazaar like every year, but they're non-followers and they know a lot about it. So I know this because when we do Niwaigake and promoted the bazaar around Tendocho and such, they would say, oh yeah, we know about the bazaar and we've been going, so I thought that was interesting. There's two other small groups, and I just want to point these ones out, the Young Men's Association group, as well as the Tenrikyo Club. These are smaller groups, and to kind of talk about how, if you wanted to do something similar, I think it's important to understand that you don't have to cater to a mass amount of people, but you can create smaller groups, such as your own family members, or your own, obviously with our church, we have our church webpage, but if you wanted to, it could be even a chat group, with your just close friends, doing social media, promoting of the faith or pictures, or just sharing information about what you did for in terms of Tenrikyo events. That's something you can do for yourself. So these are the two browser apps that I built, the Fudosaki browser and the Anecdotes browser. And this, so the Fudosaki browser has every single verse on there. And let me go there real quick. This is the Fudosaki browser, and you can browse. You can also do a text search of through all the verses. So if you wanted to look for example, the word parent, you can see that it's in 74 verses, and you can look through them here. And also there's Portuguese, as well as the English translations, as well as the kanji version of the verses. And this read tab here, this one, I looked when I was at the Kaigai booth, working for the overseas department. I noticed that they have certain sets of verses they read every morning, and I enabled that for the user so they can find the set of verses here to read that set if they so choose. So, it's like better than having the book, right? So the anecdotes browser is very similar. You can search through all 200 anecdotes and do text search as well. But also added keywords. Roy linked certain keywords in the Fudesaki, so people's names or common themes. So like anger, for example, you can find that it's in 2 anecdotes, and they're linked here. So you can learn more about, if you want to see more about that person, that keyword, you can look there as well. And there's also individual people's names. And the other thing I noticed too was they refer to the same name, like Suji right here, but in one of the anecdotes it's actually referring to his father. So that was something that I think only Roy or very few people would notice. That's what I shared. These 2 are apps that I've created in my free time, of course, and I think that people could use this to learn a lot more about the teachings. So I want to also talk about some reactions I had from people who did use the Tenrikyo Resource. Someone approached me and she said that she was so grateful for the Tenrikyo Resource because she was able to use the resource to learn definitively what the Tenrikyo teachings were, and was able to transfer that knowledge to her children, and her children were able to explain the teachings to their friends as well. So I thought, and I just realized that was an issue that we had, growing up. When we go to like the seminar or going to Japan, they would often say, you need to understand Japanese in order to understand the teachings. And I thought that was a little unfair, or not unfair, but just kind of unfortunate, unless we had something like the Tenrikyo Resource. And that was something that helped me and I think others become more confident in explaining the teachings and sharing the teachings to other people without knowing the teachings in Japanese. That's all. Thank you very much, and don't forget to follow the social media accounts. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Louis, for your continued efforts in making Tenrikyo information in English more accessible to everyone around the world. We just have some announcements before we close today. This year, Hawaii's 1-month spiritual development course began on June 18th with 3 students enrolled, including one from Pearl Church, Mr. Kenneth Rosberg, who is here with us today. And I would like to thank those of you who have dedicated your time to assist with the meal preparations for the attendees. Thank you very much. The course will end this Thursday on July 13, with all students expected to complete and graduate the course. The annual Tenrikyo picnic was successfully held this past July 4th, Tuesday, for the first time at the Tenrikyo Cultural Center. We would like to thank those who joined us on that day, and for those who helped with the setup and breakdown. Thank you very much. The children's pilgrimage to Jiba will resume this year from July 27 to 29. Louis and Mimi's family will be participating from Pearl Church. We wish them a fun, meaningful, and safe trip. The annual Tenrikyo Bazaar is scheduled for Sunday, August 27 from 8:30 to 2. And Pearl Church will be managing the ohagi production. If you're available to help, please contact Taeko. Also, if you wish to purchase scripts and barbecue chicken tickets, please email Reverend Owen or inform him with a note of how much you would like to pre-purchase. You can also purchase them on the day of. However, for the barbecue chicken, a pre-sale will be $8 for half a chicken, and on the bazaar day, it will be $8.50. The following booths will be closed this year: used clothing, toys, anthuriums, cut flowers, and bubble drinks. And finally, as announced last month, the Pearl Church 90th anniversary service will be held on June 9th next year, 2024. Please save the date and join us for this major milestone. Thank you very much, and please join us in the closing prayers.